Hi, my name's Renee Salas, and I'm an emergency medicine physician and lead author of the 2020 Lancet Countdown US Brief. I'm so excited to be joined today by Drew Scott, who is a man that wears many hats, including co-host of HGTV's Property Brothers, a board member for the Environmental Media Association, and the host of a podcast called At Home with his wife, who inspires people to have meaningful conversations at home. Thank you, Drew, for taking time to have this conversation.
Thanks so much for having me join you. I mean, I'm inspired by everything that you guys do, and from our podcast to our shows to we just released a documentary about climate change and the battle between fossil fuel and renewables. Everything we do is to sort of try and use our platform to inspire people to make positive change. And so I really appreciate you bringing me in to chat.
And I look forward to hearing more about the documentary at the end.
Yeah, Power Trip it's called.
Yes. Now, Drew, one of the new findings in the 2020 Lancet Countdown US Brief is that disruptions in work due to extreme heat led to the US construction sector losing an estimated 540 million potential work hours in 2019 alone. Now, extreme heat also worsened certain types of air pollution, and as this report highlights, wildfire exposure is also increasing. Now, these converge and lead to poor air quality with clear harms for health, especially for outdoor workers. Now, I'm seeing these very health harms here in Boston, and I treated a young construction worker a few years ago during record-breaking heat in Boston. He came in heat stroke because he was working 2 construction jobs to try to support his growing family. So we're seeing it here, and I'm sure you're also seeing these types of harms there. So have you experienced times when extreme heat or other extreme events like wildfires have interrupted construction projects that you've worked on?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we film our shows and we help families all over North America. I mean, we're across US and Canada. And so from extreme cold up in Canada, I mean, I've been out working on projects when it's minus 30 degrees Celsius. And then I've been down in New Orleans. It was 113 degrees Fahrenheit and it was 95% humidity. And we have full construction teams trying to work together, but we had to adjust because of that extreme heat. Otherwise, we don't want to have people having to go to the hospital from heat exhaustion and other aspects that come from that extreme heat. It was tough, and our days would change. Our projects became a lot longer. They became a lot more expensive. We had to bring in more crews because they had to work shorter hours and shift work. We were even down during Hurricane Harvey. We were filming in Galveston. And I can actually remember we were on the island shooting in Galveston, and then we got our evacuation warnings, and it hit so fast. And this wasn't even the worst of it. This was sort of a prelude. It came up so fast that I actually got video footage of where we were on the far end of the island. The roads started to wash out, and so we had to take a detour around another way because the water was overtaking the road. We couldn't even get out from where we were, so we had to evacuate the home. So I've seen it, extreme heat in Vegas, where I've lived for 10 years as well. So it's a scary thing for everyone, but especially in our industry as well. A lot of people, we're working and building a house that has no air conditioning. You have no, we take safety precautions, but again, too, when you think about it, now with like you're saying, the smoke issues that are out there, extreme heat, as well, when we are inside a house, we have mold issues forming a lot more rapidly because we have more water egress than we did before. These are all issues that take safety precautions to a whole other level.
Well, thank you, Drew, for sharing those stories, because I think they really bring the data to life and highlight how these disruptions are happening. Now, as climate change continues to exacerbate extreme heat and extreme weather events, what do you foresee as the biggest challenges for the construction sector moving forward?
Well, I mean, I think it's the biggest thing are the people. I mean, whether it's the people who are living in these homes, or we're trying to finish these homes so they can live in them, or it's the workers who are working on the houses. The health impact to everyone it's killer. It really is. And I think in a part of that as well, like I said too, you have a timeline. We've been doing this for over 20 years, 25 years, and we know how to budget for anything. We can structure ourselves, we have our contingencies, and we can move forward, no problem. But as we start to be in different areas of the country where we're renovating, where we're coming across unprecedented concerns, like we said, with the water issues down in Galveston and extreme heat, all of a sudden, everything we've ever known for how we schedule the timeline and budget, it's out the window because we have to triple up our crews. We have to bring in more safety precautions. We have to materials as well. There are more safety precautions, and we have to build into the budget as well to make sure that at the end of the day, our crew are safe, but also the people moving into the houses are safe. So it's affecting everything from the people working on the house to the people that will be living in the houses.
Yeah, what you said really resonates. And, I often describe that we can no longer look in a rearview mirror in order to understand what lies ahead. And it's truly unprecedented. And as we think about how to best protect construction workers and other outdoor workers, in our 2019 brief, we outlined some key recommendations for policymakers. But based off your experience, what insights can you provide to decision makers and policymakers listening for how to best protect the safety and health of outdoor workers?
Yeah, I mean, really, I honestly think education is the prime deal here. Even for myself, there's so much more that we can learn, and any policymakers, there's so much more we can learn. And I think there's a way, people sometimes might subconsciously get into a routine, and they think this is just the way it's always been done. But we are in a time where there's so much happening that has never happened before, and that's why we have to step back, take a breath, look at the information that's being provided to us, educate ourselves, and then move forward in a way that's going to be better for all of us. At the end of the day, all these policies we have in place, we need to, especially with us and our construction teams, we want to protect our team. I mean, these people are our livelihood. They're the muscle behind everything that we do. And so, safety has always been a big thing for construction. Whether it's, harnesses, if you're doing work on roofs, or, every aspect within the home, anything we're doing with shear walls or anything we're doing to secure the house, depending on what those safety measures are. But now we're taking it to a whole other level. We need to reconsider air quality protocol in a home. We need to reconsider moisture issues within a home. We need to look at water quality as well. So there's a lot that wasn't our basic necessity, or wasn't the national building code before, but now we have to step it all up a notch because we want to make sure that once we're finished with these houses, they are safe for families and the crews that are working on these houses as well. So really, it's education, opening up our minds to considering that things have changed and what we can do to work together to keep everyone safe.
Wonderful. I couldn't have said it any better. So climate change as an unprecedented challenge truly mandates unprecedented collaboration, because we will only tackle this together. So what brings you the most optimism about our ability to collectively tackle this?
Honestly, you guys, Environmental Media Association, the youth that are out there, there are so many people that are speaking up and bringing sort of a positive message to everyone. Because I think one thing that can be harmful is if we're letting everyone know the effects of climate change is all doom and gloom. Yes, it is scary, and yes, there have been a lot of deaths, and there's a lot of bad stuff that's happened. But we need to be able to show people that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And if we work together, that's the main thing. We are all one big community on this planet Earth. If we work together, we can find solutions that will actually benefit all of us. And I think that's right from the policymakers, right down to the homeowners, right down to our future leaders. That I love listening to the young kids talk because they're so passionate. And I was actually laughing too, because I was talking, listening to my nephew who's 7 just the other day, and he was talking about solar, and he was talking about climate change, but he was saying things in a way that was just common sense to him. He doesn't know a lot of what the history is, that what we've dealt with, and he doesn't know what a lot of the ways it's always been have been. He just states things like it's the most obvious thing in the world, and it's something we can learn from a younger generation. They just have open minds to learn and grow. So I'm definitely optimistic.
Well, may we all listen to our own respective 7-year-old nephews, because I do believe that the younger generation has a vision for the path that we need to take. So before we end, I would love to just hear a little bit more about the documentary, Power Trip.
It's really exciting. This is a project that we had for the last 3-4 years. We've been filming it. And my brother, Jonathan, this is absolutely his passion project. So he flew around US and Canada interviewing people. And again, this isn't something that was saying, it's not a Republican versus Democrat side of things. It's nothing political like that. It's just talking about this secret war that's been waged against renewables. And it's it really is about people making a lot of money keeping things the way they are with fossil fuels, and the damage that that's causing to our environment and to our health, and how it's affecting everybody. And so what we're trying to do is just make sure that Power Trip is a way to open up people's eyes to understand that there's a lot more power we do have to take hold of how we power our lives. And it's really exciting. It's on PBS, and the release of our doc was huge, and a lot of great response from people on social media. So I want everybody to hit me up on social media. If you watch PBS and you watch Power Trip, I want you to let us know what you think of it. And I'd also like to hear from you guys how you're making positive change to make sure that climate change is not affecting you in a negative way in your home. So what are you doing to help make change?
I hope everyone checks out Power Trip. And I really appreciated how you guys integrated health into the documentary. Health really is central in our society right now with the pandemic in a way that hasn't happened in modern times. And we have to continue to put health central to climate action. Well, thank you, Drew, so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it. And thank you for all of the work that you're doing.
Yes, of course. And we'll see you again sometime in person, maybe next time. So thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.